Welcome to another episode of Crosby's Ask the Expert. This question was sent in from Mike at McDermott, and Mike's question is this: is it permissible to use a wedge socket assembly as an adjustable wire rope sling? Well, the answer is it is definitely not a good rigging practice. Matter of fact, if we were to take a look at ASME B30.9, it doesn't strictly prohibit it, but it has some strong wording, and let me just read it here for you. It says, if a qualified person or a manufacturer were to build a sling using wire rope or fittings not specified in ASME B30.9, they would have to provide specific data showing deviations from the standard. Let me take this a few steps further. Let's assume a qualified person or manufacturer were to, let's say, possibly do this. First off, has that qualified person or the manufacturer, have they done their due diligence and calculated the working load limit, taking into account the 80% efficiency rating for a wedge socket assembly, and does their calculations take into account the design factor of 5 to 1? Another thing to consider is that you still have the requirement that all slings have to have proper identification. Of course, we think of that as the tag. And on the tag, it has to have a minimum of these three things. It has to have the name or the trademark of the manufacturer. It's got to have its rated capacity based on at least one hitch and the angle at which it's based on. And last but not least, it must have its diameter size. There are also other things within B30.9 that somebody would have to consider, such as possible proof test requirements. You do have training requirements, and they do have a sentence in there that says basically at the end of the day that your slings have to comply with all sections of that chapter. In closing, I just want to say it's a great question, but we're going to land on not a recommended best practice. Thanks.